culture. Everything is permitted.
Welcome to episode 51 of Everything is Permitted here at Wade's Comic Madness. I'm your host, Julian Brown, alongside my co-host, the Man of Steel, Matt Reppert, and the Master of Puns, Brittany Tomes. How we doing?
Not well, because this is the earliest I've ever received shame on this show.
Brittany's been shamed before we even started recording because we did our intro and then she moved her mic and made some noises and we had to start over and... Well,
theme song is less fun when you're frowning through it.
Yeah, but you know, because we didn't get to do it because we hadn't recorded yet, you are getting one of these here.
Shame.
Jingle, jingle.
There it is. Oh man. Other than Brittany's pre-recording shame, how we doing, guys?
Oh, really awesome.
Yeah, I know you're happy.
I just thought of the movie again, so I was like, I'm good now.
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good as well. Yeah, it's a good weekend so far, I'd say.
I'm happy for you guys. It's been a rough start to the weekend in the Brown household, but that's what happens when you have a 4-year-old and a almost 16-month-old. So, you know. Anyway, we're here to talk about fun things and not our daily lives because that's what we do on this show. This week, we are also joined by, he's sitting next to us right now, the always entertaining, the always fun, Rob Macavity Migliaccio.
Just like actual Macavity.
Just like actual Macavity, who is finally cashing in on his Indiegogo contribution. And one of the perks for that was getting to go on a movie date with us. And Rob, you chose to see Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of one Harley Quinn with us, which we'll just be reviewing in a little bit. So, yeah, welcome back.
Thank you very much.
2 weeks in a row. It's like you're sticking with us or something.
I know. It's like you guys like me or something.
Let's not go that far.
Just like cats, you've grown on us. Invading our mind.
We won't tell our listeners what you did with our contest.
He did not take off his coat. That's for sure.
Sabotage, I will say. Sabotage. Rob, along with reviewing Birds of Prey with us, you are also going to be only the third person to have a go at the Permitted Minute Gauntlet. Are you ready?
I am so ready, even though Matt
I don't believe he's going to.
has already said that, he's not going to make the minute.
You know, what are we betting on this then if you can't do it?
I think there should be a steelbook involved. I like it.
That's pretty high.
I don't know. Yeah, that is.
Are we all getting in on this? What steelbook?
Well, here, actually.
I'll go on that.
How about because I think they're still on sale, one of the Disney steelbooks at Best Buy, because I think they're like $14.95 right now.
Do you want a Disney steelbook?
Well, ask Rob. I don't know.
I was hoping it would be a Dr. Sleep steelbook because I'm like, I will straight up.
I will get how much
burn
is
the
steelbook
Overlook
usually
down for
run?
that.
$34.99.
Yeah, $34.99. So
if I don't get this under a minute,
okay,
I want Julian timing.
Okay.
No, Matt, to be fair, has the good watch, and he will not
knows.
cheat. Matt is an honest
Matt
man.
with the good watch,
Yeah.
like Becky with the good hair.
I am putting down, mark my words, a single steelbook of the winner's choosing.
Okay, if you want to do that, we'll do it.
Shake on it.
All right.
And you're in.
Wow.
If he does it, he gets a steelbook of his
absolutely.
choosing.
I'll get him a
I
steelbook.
like it.
I feel like I watched an old-timey Western duel just happen. Like they're agreeing like tomorrow at sunrise.
Tomorrow
I'll
at
see you at high noon.
at high noon.
High
outside.
noon.
Well, I'll see you at 6 or 7 tomorrow.
Oh, wait, is he coming to?
Yeah, I said I'm coming. What do you call it?
Oh, the party. I thought you meant 6 or 7.
party.
The 6 or 7 in the morning, and I was like, "What are you guys
Julian's
doing?"
like, I didn't agree to this.
I'm not
bringing
waking up.
breakfast.
The duel is at 6 a.m. The sun shan't be out.
You want to see me?
Fuck
Want
that shit.
to see me at 6 a.m. on a Sunday morning?
There are not many people I want to see at 6 or 7 a.m.
Exactly.
I'm just saying right now. So, like we said, we're going to be reviewing Birds of Prey this week, and then Are You Still Watching is back, and we'll discuss the first 3 episodes of Star Trek Picard, and then which will obviously make us decide if we're engaged moving forward.
Wow, really?
Britney joke.
God.
Yeah, baby. And then finally, to close out our second season here, we'll have all the winners, losers, or I should say snubs from this year's Oscars. And Matt, I've been waiting to get you to sit through the Oscars. You didn't do it last year.
Yeah, because I'm never a huge fan of watching Hollywood essentially give itself a blowjob.
Oh, but it's so. Oof.
The rich white men just in a circle, making that eye contact.
I just want you all to know how terrible politics are. Like, yes, we know. Please accept your award and get off the stage.
Let's go over some quick announcements here. Like we just mentioned, this is our final episode of the season, but we won't be gone too long. We're back March 17th with season 3 and episode 52. That episode, I think we mentioned it last week, Matt, will also mark the return of Pitching Pages.
Yes, I'm very excited for that. I gotta get some stuff together because I'm trying to flip through some ideas.
It gives us time to read.
Yes,
that too. Yes,
exactly.
When's the last time I picked up a book and read it all the way through?
I actually already have some things from like comics and a couple of books I've read that I had to check from the previous episode and make sure that they weren't on my other Pitching Pages list.
Well then.
I know I got to do research.
Oh,
how about
goodness,
that?
Research.
And that episode will obviously have much more. And then in the meantime, you could help us out as always by leaving us a quick 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Honestly, you guys have no idea how much that helps get our show out on Apple Podcasts. It's the more reviews we get, the more, if you search for us, we'll show up pretty easily there. Brittany, why don't you tell people how else they can help us?
Want to take it a step further? That's right. Become a patron for just $2 a month. You can also become an EIP, VIP, or an EEP, as I like to call it, for $5 a month.
Oh my God.
That wasn't planned. Julian just put me on the spot, so that's what you
I'm going to be doing that
that's
a
what you
lot
fucking
more.
deserve.
Oh my God.
I actually thought that was very good for, putting you on the spot.
Sunday.
Let's not do that.
No?
No. It's not even Sunday.
Tuesday,
We usually
Tuesday,
record on
Tuesday.
Sunday. Saturday.
No, that's when they listen.
Yes, that's true. Good point. What are some of the perks that people get if they join our Patreon program?
Well, thanks for asking, Julian. During our break, you guys will get exclusive bonus content on our pod, which will be the review of the upcoming Sonic film. That's right. Got to go fast. Fast to our Patreon.
I'm kind of scared of that movie. I really am.
We'd also like to thank our current patrons, which are Billy Peets, Heather Reppert, Ann Conkling, this joker over here, Macavity, who pretty much goes without saying, Nikki Veazey, and Matt Moore.
Who wants to announce, you know what? Because you are just like all week freaking out about this movie because we love it so much. Do you want to announce the winner of our giveaway?
And finally, congratulations to Ann Conkling, the winner of our Dr. Sleep 4K Steelbook giveaway.
I don't know what to do with it.
I had an icy, dude.
I'm like,
This is why I need to be a voice actor, because someone could just hand me a piece of paper and I'll be like, what accent do you want? How hyped do you want me to be? And they'll just be like, holy shit, what did I unleash?
I am like perturbed
Unleashed
right
can of
now by
worms.
Brittany. But yes, congratulations. And you are the winner of our Dr. Sleep 4K Steelbook. We will get your info and ship that out to you this week. Let's get into some rants or raves. Whoever raises their hand first gets to go first because I actually didn't ask anybody if they have their rant or rave ready. So,
Oh my
who
goodness.
wants to go? Matt,
I'll go.
Hit it.
So obviously, I'm a PC gamer.
Are you?
Yeah, I know. I do a lot of PC.
No.
gaming.
Like I'm dead serious. I didn't know you were a PC gamer.
No, I am.
I thought you were strictly Xbox.
No, I grew up a PC gamer.
He's like Henry Cavill. Hashtag the Twitcher.
No, but I use PC gaming more for like more niche titles that aren't going to find their way to console anytime soon, like strategy games.
We
is-
talking
is the main
indie.
thing.
We're talking MMORPG.
Oh, I don't do MMORPGs.
We're not
I
talking
hate
that.
MMOs.
We're
I hate
Talking
MMOs.
Untitled Goose Game.
But actually, Untitled Goose Game is on console. Funny enough, but no, I like games like Hearts of Iron 4, Europa Universalis, Crusader Kings. Like those are
Civ?
the games. Yeah, Civ as well.
He's a Siva.
Yeah, so those games I play. So obviously, the two main strategy games I've been playing recently are Hearts of Iron 4, and I play a little bit of a game called Imperator Rome, and they're strategy games, fun as hell, blah, blah, blah. They're made by a company called Paradox Interactive. However, recently Paradox basically broke their frickin' game, like all of them.
That's
because-
paradoxical.
Yeah, I know, right?
Shut up, Wesley.
Wow, he was just waiting.
I know, he was.
I think
he
you
was,
can see when I have something I plan.
Julian has an itchy trigger finger for that.
Yeah, I know, he does.
That's my favorite
Yeah,
button.
shoot
right
me
now.
down like everyone else in my life.
Yeah, but
Shut up, Wesley.
Sorry, Matt.
But so Paradox basically put out this new game launcher that works within Steam. However, I don't know if it's my computer, but apparently it's not, like, because I've seen other people have similar issues where the game will load, but it will not properly shut down when you exit the game. So basically I have to close down my game manager, Steam, entirely, force shut the game in that regard. And then also like I have to basically exit out of the entire thing like Task Manager. And I've been in touch with their tech support, and they've been like, oh, well, we don't think it's an issue. It has to be an issue with Steam. And I messaged back the guy and I said, look, dude, none of my other games are doing this. It's only your games, and it's only the ones you've rolled out the launcher for.
Get your shit together.
Dang,
Pretty
man.
much, yeah. So, like, basically at least one of my favorite games that I love to play on PC when I don't have access to the TV or whatnot, I can't play easily anymore, and it pisses me off.
This actually reminds me of an experience before we moved here. We used to have Fios cable, and it's roughly, just for some reason it reminded me of it. We were watching a lot of shows on demand at that time, and it was completely random whether it was like 5 minutes in or like literally 50 minutes into an episode. Our cable box would freeze and then completely shut down and reboot on any on-demand title. And we had 3 techs come to our house, and all of them said there is no fix. And Fios still gave us shit about trying to cancel without canceling our contract. I don't know why it made me think of that, but just of things not working the way they're supposed to.
Well, it upsets me because it worked fine until they rolled out their update at the end of last year, and that's when it's like, bleh, it just died. And like, it's such a bitch to get it to work. And like, I hate trying to play the games now, and that upsets me because I love those games.
I was wondering, do people have like Steam handles, like names on Steam?
Oh yeah, they do.
Okay, it's been a while since I used it. Someone should make theirs Rose the Hat because she loves Steam.
Oh god.
That's right, guys. You thought I was done with Dr. Sleep.
Just Brit, shine on.
I'll never
Shine
be.
on, Brit.
Shine on, I will.
Shine on, Brittany Tomes.
Then
I
if
think we might set a record before we even get to the per-minute minute of how many
You
times
say that every
Brittany's
time.
been shamed. I think I do say that every time. Who else has got a rant or rave? Anybody?
Mine was just going to be, I love Dr. Sleep. I love that it came out on DVD this week. It was a rough week at work, and I came home and I was just like, Dr. Sleep's here waiting for me.
She came
So
to my
good.
house
I
and
did.
picked up her copy and ate dinner with us.
I did.
It was
Oh,
nice. It was like literally as we were sitting down, it was like, eat some of our yummy turkey lettuce wraps. They were really good.
They were really good.
I usually, it's lucky she came because I usually eat the whole bowl. It's Bad News Bears. Put a little sriracha on that shit. So good.
I don't know what that is, but it doesn't sound appetizing.
You don't know what sriracha is?
Nope.
For a minute, I thought you didn't know what lettuce wraps were.
No, I figure out what that is.
Shame.
Shame on you, sir.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought that shame clip was softer until the end, and then I was like, oh, no, it's the same exact one.
Do you have a rant or rave, Macavity?
Actually, I kind of have a little bit of 2 real fast ones. I had one before we went to the movie, but it's the first time seeing a movie in Dolby Cinema.
That was your first time?
Yes.
Wow.
Did I break your Dolby Cinema cherry?
Yes, you did.
Yes.
And it was fan-freaking-tastic.
Didn't you also have a cherry flavored iced?
Cherry and blueberry.
I love the symbolism here.
I got cherry and blueberry for Harley.
You know, I have to do this.
Yay! That was a good movie to see in Dolby. You can hear every swing of the bat.
Because that's like, I'm spoiled by Dolby Cinema. The screen is fantastic. The sound is fantastic. It's fantabulous, like Harley Quinn herself.
Well, see, unfortunately,
Good job, Julian.
that's like the only one around here that has the Dolby. I mean, besides Cherry
You
Hill.
could go to KOP and see like 40. They have like their 40X and they have their not R40X, RPX, and they just upgraded to IMAX laser there. But you got to go all the way to fucking King of
And
Prussia.
that's Regal.
Yeah, and
I
you
don't
ask
like
some
Regal.
people about it, and you're like, do you have Dolby? And they're like, wasn't that house elf from Harry Potter? Do you need a sock?
Wow.
Get her.
Speaking of Harry Potter, one of my raves was actually going to Harry Potter trivia with your wives.
No, God, please, no, 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 no.
Would you like to rave real quick about Trivia Night?
Yeah, trivia night was fun. We went to, what was it, Odd Logic?
Odd Logic Brewery.
Yeah.
We're gonna have them on the show sometime soon.
There was a lot of people there for that trivia. And
Tim Shaw, the owner, he told me he was like opening up more seats because it was crazy.
yeah, there was just so many. And even the ties for all like the different levels, there was like 5 different people that tied for third. So like, I don't know, overall it was fun. We had a really strong first 2 rounds and then kind of
Rob at 2.
fizzled out.
He only did one.
We Voldemorted it in the end, just faded off.
What are you talking about?
Rob said he had two. That's
Okay, well,
Go,
I'll
Rob,
get back
go.
to him
Yeah, we're having
because she
I'm sorry.
interjected.
I just remembered the other fun I had
and,
this week.
and I said it before the pod started, and I'll say it now. Karen had very good things to say about you. You're a useless repository of Harry Potter knowledge.
I'm just really good at trivia.
I love trivia.
And trivial
Tim told me
things.
they're going to be doing a lot more trivia nights there, and I can't wait to
Oh,
go.
boy.
So, Rob, what's your second rant or read?
Julian, he just wants to get to the permitted minute so he can watch me,
Me?
actually win. No, Matt
Oh,
does.
Matt. Matt's
yeah, okay. All
He's
right.
waiting.
We're ahead of schedule right now. I don't know what he's talking about.
No, but,
I haven't
um,
even raved yet. If I'm raved,
Second rave was ultimately the Super Bowl commercials from last week. I liked some of them.
I liked Alicia from the Alexa commercial.
Yes.
I love the Alexa one. I love the Groundhog Day
Yep.
one.
Oh, that was good.
Okay, so there's 3 because no one has mentioned Marvel yet.
There was also like 6 that made me cry. Like the old
That's
man
kinda
who
like-
had Alzheimer's, like was forgetting his wife. I was like, what the fuck, Google?
Dude, they
Google
tore
one.
that to shreds, though.
And my dad turned around and he was just like, oh, fuck, Brittany's crying again. Like, every other commercial, I'd either laugh or be like, meh. The car commercials were really weird. I will say that. None made me laugh. Not a single one.
Man.
What, did you have a specific one you want to talk about?
No. I mean, I loved the Jeep one. Like even when it shows up on like YouTube now, I'm like,
Oh, is that the one with where the dude's like, you could do anything you want to do?
No, that's
That was
the Bill
Groundhog
the
Day.
Bill Murray
Bill Murray.
Groundhog
Oh,
Day.
yeah, it does. Sorry.
So I like let it go through now.
There were so many car commercials, to be fair.
There was.
I have a rant, and I only have this rant because of our viewing at Birds of Prey. I will say this.
Oh, yeah.
AMC, great job today. No one was a douche. You know,
They had all their lids to their ices.
yeah, concessions were fine. Everybody had proper etiquette in the theater. No one was on their phones. No one but Brittany was talking.
Except for Brittany taking a picture of a ship with their flash on.
Yeah, I
He
know.
took a picture of the
It
ship.
was previews.
I like looked over. I'm like, who has their flash? I'm like, and it's Julian.
They did
taking
it
a picture.
twice. How
I was just living in the moment, man. You gotta let out a laugh for hard.
But as the movie was wrapping up, down in like the A, B, and C rows were like 2 extremely little kids with their family. And I am like, what the actual fuck is wrong with you parents? Like, just because it's a DC movie or because Harley Quinn is in it, who already, like, Harley Quinn is not a very nice person. If you read comic books or Batman the Animated Series or saw Suicide Squad,
They
I
were
like you said Suicide
they were
Squad and
like
that
5 or
reset your
6.
brain.
Like, you were
it
right.
did.
There were intense moments. Like, not only it's ultra violence to begin with, but like there's intense moments there
Like
for kids.
F-bombs every other word.
Yeah.
Face carving. Yes.
The
Yeah.
pretty much
People's
like
faces being pulled
sexual
up.
assault, 2 sexual
Yeah.
assault scenes.
Yeah.
Like, just don't bring your kids. Just don't bring them. Get a sitter. And if you can't get a sitter, wait till it comes out on Blu-ray and show them in the comfort of your home where no one like me is going to judge you.
Are you thinking of the children, Julian?
You know, I think I am thinking of the children because, you know, as
Someone's gotta.
always,
Won't somebody please think of the children?
Julian's our Dark Knight.
I try to be. I'm not the one they need.
It's the one they got.
It's the one they got. Okay? Like, I can't help it.
I just picture Julian coming up behind people. Your children are too young to be in this movie.
Just like whisks them away under a cape.
Cat's playing in Theater 7.
Honestly, kids might make it through.
Actually, was Cats even in theater still? I actually
No, but Knives Out was. I
Yeah,
would
we
put
said
those kids in Knives Out. That was like,
Knives Out over here.
Dude, I would say Knives Out is more appropriate than that.
yeah, I would take
For
kids.
sure.
I would probably take kids those age to see Knives Out.
Everybody's fully clothed. There's really not that much death.
Never would have taken them to see. I would not take my kids, and I'd show my kids, like, Cecily has watched The Witcher with me, and I would not take her to go see Birds of Prey. End of story.
Yeah.
But I will say, mad props to the guy sitting behind us who was like decked out for the opera, like full suit and tie. Like, I don't know what you were doing wearing that to Birds and Prey.
Oh,
but
he was
like,
here for Margo
Some,
Robbie.
some people treat the movie as theater as an event.
They do.
not
It
just
is
as-
very
Or maybe
true.
he was paying homage to Batman and his family.
That's
because,
true.
You know, dressing
Bruce.
up for the opera.
Bruce.
He's going to walk out and be like, no. Popcorn will fall on the floor just like the pearls.
All right.
Oh, boy.
All
I thought of a
right.
whole skit.
All right. Matt's
getting my
rolling
watch
up
ready.
the sleeve.
Getting it ready here. I don't want there to be any.
He's rolling up the sleeve. He's
So,
getting ready
I'll even take it off
because
here just for.
it is time for the Permitted Minute Gauntlet. And Matt, would you like to do the countdown since you're on the watch, or
Well,
would you?
I will start the watch when the sound bite ends.
Okay.
So that's how I do that.
Are we ready? Rob, are you ready?
So ready.
All right.
So ready? Okay, we are going to go here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Mr. Gaeta, start the clock.
Rest in peace, Kurt Douglas. You're an absolute legend. 103 is an age we can all strive for. The Empire, we mean the Mouse Ears, have had it good since the launch of Disney Plus, as the company announced 26.5 million subscribers to the streaming service. In shocking gaming news, Rockstar Games co-founder Dave Hauser has left the company. Hauser was also the lead writer on Red Dead 2 and Bully. Heading back to Disney Plus, The Mandalorian is set to its return for the second season this October. This is the way. The upcoming Resident Evil series from Netflix is slated to production this June. Hopefully the coronavirus doesn't get us first. What is sure to excite Marvel fans everywhere, the Spider-Man trilogy director Sam Raimi is in advanced talks to direct Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Finally, don't throw away your shot. Hamilton's live Broadway recording with the original cast will hit theaters October 15th, 2021.
He got it in 44 seconds.
44. That's good.
Oh, I was shaking my head. I thought he was way over
No,
that.
I got
Victory
44
lap.
from the start of it.
I knew he was going to make it under one.
Jesus
Rob,
Christ.
all right.
Victory rap happened.
Rob did not break the record. He's got second place behind Billy. So Billy,
What's our top time still? I can't remember.
42 seconds.
By
Bill,
2
buddy,
seconds.
listen.
The answer to the
you got
universe.
me. You got me there. I was,
But Rob, that
There were some
was-
tongue twisters.
There were, and I think Sam Raimi and the Spider-Man trilogy got you. You had that like stutter there.
Yeah, I was waiting. I thought that was tripping him up. I was like, uh-oh, he's
To
going
quote,
to make that
to
now.
quote Superman, though, you may stumble, you may fall, but one day we'll join you in the sun.
I gotta say,
Ooh, Man of Steel reference too. I love it.
I gotta say, I was reading over it and I'm like, that's going to be my downfall.
That one
And
specifically?
It was. 'Cause
Oh.
it's just like so much Spider-Man, Sam Raimi. Like, there's
Spider-Man,
just
Sam Raimi.
Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Strange. There's a lot of M's and S's in that one.
There is. But anyway, you did get on the leaderboard. You are the third person to do it. So,
Yay.
yay. Good job, Rob.
Just here to thrill and
I know, because Matt knows he has to spend $35 on Rob.
Now they know it's
That is
not
what it-
staged here.
Jesus.
Oh, I thought your bet was to see if he would beat the best time.
No, the
just
bet
to
was
make
to
a
be
minute?
No,
make
maybe
a
did
minute.
under a minute, but that's
Oh.
fine.
I was trying.
Never mind.
It gives me more.
Listen,
You were
when I
close.
was practicing this, I was getting the best one was 41.6 seconds, and I was just like,
She's like,
not
this is
gonna
it.
be good.
He's gonna clinch it.
And I love Billy, love my man Bill. I just have to let him have it.
You were talking some shit last week. So.
I know. Well, what do you call it? I was just like looking, I'm like, okay, I gotta be fair. Have to have the same amount for everybody. Have to be fair. So
Have we had 7 for everybody?
I think we've had that around that. I'd say
7 or 8.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
give or
would have
take.
crushed it last week, but
I know, man.
being
Last
fair.
week was like 5
Which
things.
is, and
so,
I
like,
offered it to him.
We
but he
could have
was
jogged
like,
slowly backwards while reading. Could
with throwing an axe while reading.
have been like
Oh,
Harley
God.
Quinn skating backwards.
But Rob, you have to pick out your movie and let me know when it is. Just be careful because some of that stuff sells out quicker than others.
We'll figure out something.
All right.
I like it. I like the gentlemanship, the fair play. The movie we saw didn't have a lot of fair play in it.
Why would it?
Why would it? We
Fair
are
play is for stuck-up
Fair-
men like Batman.
Batman.
Mr. Fairplay wasn't in it.
That
right?
guy in
When
the
does
Man.
Batman do fair play? What are you all talking about?
We're talking about how he doesn't kill, he obeys the laws, things like that.
he just
Detective work.
cripples people and like lets them live lives of pain.
yeah. I don't know what's
Can sometimes kill people, but never the Joker for some reason. I'm just like, okay.
Oh man.
we are here, and Rob is obviously here to review Birds of Prey and
The Fantabulous Emancipation of one Harley Quinn. It's like my game show voice
it
today.
is. I don't know if I like it.
Let's play the feud.
Birdie just gave me the deadest dead eye I have ever seen.
Well, it's supposed to sound like fake, like, whoa, people,
It's good. It's good. It's good.
I don't believe it.
I don't. Rob, you are our guest, and I think this is the first time I'm doing this. We're also going to let you give your thoughts first, but why don't you tell us the Rotten Tomatoes score before we get into things?
So, for Birds of Prey, Rotten Tomatoes critic score was an 82%, not too bad, and the audience so far has given it an 84%.
So you got to remember, we're at the opening weekend. That's subject to some change, but
It'll slide one way or the other.
it is pretty much dead even between critics
Yeah.
and audience, and it is certified fresh, so people enjoyed this movie. So
That's
we're
how you know it's fresh.
Yep, that's right. We're going to get right into it. Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of one Harley Quinn. Rob, your initial thoughts on the film?
So, I mean, I enjoyed it. I liked how it started out with that kind of little animated.
I really like that.
Really like that. Just to be like, you know, hell yeah, we're going to show you a little, you know, animated clip of how everything went, just to get everybody up to speed if you haven't, you know, don't know who Harley Quinn is and whatnot. But I think it went right into the action. But the way that it was brought up for the first act was I fairly enjoyed it.
Who do I have next here? Brittany, your initial thoughts on the film.
I love the movie. If you want something that's campy, funny, violent, and super feminist, that's it. And to go with the beginning, I did like how it opened because one of my favorite things is when a character is saying something was happening a certain way and then you blatantly see the opposite. Like, that's the funniest thing to me. So when she's like, I handled it really well. I broke up with him. And then she's just like sobbing and putting fucking cheese whiz in her mouth. I was just like, girl, we all been there. Yes.
Matt.
I also like the movie. I didn't love it. I did enjoy it for what it was. Obviously, we'll get into deeper thoughts in a little bit, and I'll just say it right now. Probably spoilers coming because I'm going to talk about something.
As always, our film reviews have massive spoilers. So if you haven't seen the film yet, come back another time. We'll see you then.
Spoiled like that 6-month-old cheese.
Yes.
You'll know when we get there, kids.
Yeah, you will indeed.
Man.
Yeah. Did you want to continue on that?
No, I'm good. We'll your thoughts and we'll get into it.
It was good. It was fun. I think that's the best thing I could say about this movie. Like, it's fun. It got me out of the real world for about 2 hours. I mean, Margo Robbie is the Harley Quinn. If you're going to write the book on Harley Quinn, you come call Margo Robbie because she's fantastic. I thought she was wonderful. I should have done that. I actually think that she should have been in the film more, even though, you know, it is a Birds of Prey movie. Rob, you want to kind of continue?
So, I mean, I was thinking about it on the ride over. I kind of liked and I disliked how it kept bouncing back and forth.
Yes.
Between, like, you know, time jumping and whatnot. But I mean, it kind of built up the point to get to, okay, yeah, here's current timeline, you know, but I think all the supporting characters were really well played out. Mm-hmm. Like I said, Julian, Margo Robbie, just like knocked it out, and not just knocking it out as Harley Quinn, but also directing. Correct?
Yeah, she produced it.
Produced. She didn't direct, but she did
you.
produce. Yeah,
Thank
like
you.
she's full on producer, Producers Guild of America. Like, I think Brittany and Matt both, maybe it was you, Brittany, said that she's been pushing and pushing and pushing.
Yeah.
Or no, I think you said it to me in the car, right?
What's that?
I'm getting it.
No, it's
confused.
me.
It was
saying
Brittany. I don't know.
She pushed for it to get that R rating and to be what it was because she originally pitched it to Warner Brothers and they said they'd be interested in, you know, Birds of Prey or a Harley film in general, but they always expect it to be like PG-13, whatever. And she was just like, no, it's going to be rated R and this is how it's going to be. So thanks to her, we have this.
Yeah, I think it needed that rated R.
Mm-hmm. You couldn't have done it any other way.
It wasn't like.
It just would have been comical violence.
Yeah, and
There's a
going back
reason.
to
There's a reason. Yeah. Oh, sorry, you were gonna say.
No, going back to what you were saying with like the kids and your rant, it wasn't like a Deadpool R, but it was pretty.
And
damn
Deadpool's
close.
still.
And yeah,
like,
Deadpool's still like intense R.
Yeah, it was pretty damn close to it. So
It's basically like Gotham's a playground right now. Who knows where Batman is or what's going on? And this is what life is like there.
Yeah, I mean, Rob, I gotta agree with you. My biggest issue with the film was the pacing. You know, I didn't like all the jumping around. I think that the film spent a little bit too much time explaining this and explaining this person's backstory. And I think, Matt, you and I were talking in the car. What I did enjoy is how she would be like, oh, this person's trying to kill me. This is why. And it was literally like
it was hilarious
5
every
seconds.
time.
And I wish that's what they did with the Birds of Prey characters, too. I think it could have shaved some time off. Brittany, I know I made a complaint to you. I wish they had spent some more time on Amusement Mile.
I agree. I liked Amusement Mile a lot, but I get why she put it as the final like fight area because that's
I saw your feet going, and I was just like going up and down, up and down, up and down. I'm like, Brittany's
excited.
over there excited.
Well, also I had an icy, so I was hype. I will say that for me, the layout wasn't confusing for the movie, but because I thought it fit Harley really well. Like, if you pay attention to how Harley like explains stories in the comics, she's always getting cut off by other characters, or like Ivy's like, not now, Harley, like whatever. If you have like ADHD or anything else where you go to tell a story, this is how I tell stories. So I'll start getting somewhere, and then I'm like, shit, I forgot this other important point. Like I then bring up the story over here, and then I get back together, and then I continue. So it was all over the place, but it was fun.
But that's what
and I shouldn't have had an icy.
But that's what I liked about it too, was the fact that like you saw, Harley talking and going crazy, and then snapping the finger. Next minute she's saying like all this psychological like disorders stuff, and it's Doctor
that's the duality of her
Quinzel
character
coming out.
She's like, I have a PhD, and here's this. But go ahead.
So the things I liked about the movie, obviously Margo Robbie was, very good as Harley Quinn. I liked the woman who played Black Canary. I don't know the actress's name, and I loved Ewan McGregor. Like the three of them to me, like were really good in their roles, really excellent. I kind of wanted to see more of like all three of them actually. And I like Julian, I had some issues with the movie. I felt the birds of prey should have been in the movie more, like not at the very end is when they get together. I get, the circumstances as to why. But yeah, as I said at the beginning, like I liked this movie. I didn't love it. And I'm happy that Brittany and other people are totally pumped about this movie. And like, if you get that kind of enjoyment out of it, like I'm happy for you. I'm really glad you got it.
I just enjoyed it because it was fun. It's not that I'm saying it's in any way Oscar worthy.
No, I'm not. And nobody is saying this movie is Oscar worthy or anything like that. I mean, as I said, I enjoyed the movie for what it was, but we'll get into where it fits in the rest of the DC movies later on, but
We will. Yeah. I mean,
it's one of the better DC movies.
oh no, it absolutely is.
And I also want to say, as much as you guys are stating that like it's a bit slower in the beginning and you're waiting for all these characters to finally meet, how many superhero movies have been like that? You have the Avengers that took forever to fucking get together and then have their final fight. You have Batman versus Superman, which was a snore fest and just a pissing contest between these two characters that shouldn't even have been fighting. Like I get it. At least you got to see the characters throughout, even though they didn't meet up yet, and you got to like keep seeing them. It was just very like you saw bits and pieces, and then finally you're like, oh, thank God they're finally fighting together. They're putting aside their differences for a minute.
Yeah, I guess, how do I put this? Like,
there's a trilogy that's gonna happen.
oh no, I get that.
So it's
I
like
get
this
that.
is just the establishing film. You gotta keep that in mind.
I get that, but I feel like if they were going to go that route and call this Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of one Harley Quinn, it probably should have just been Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey, because we didn't get the Birds of Prey until and if you think about it, like the actual Birds of Prey in like their blue costumes until the very, very, very end of the movie.
Yeah.
Having said that, I thought it was a blast. Everyone did a killer job in their roles. Mary Elizabeth Winstead was hilarious. I thought she was awesome.
She should have been in the movie more, in my
She
opinion.
should've.
Like Huntress really should have been in the movie a lot more.
I am a huge fan of Dinah Lance because of Arrow, and I used to read Green Arrow a lot. So Green Arrow, Black Canary, love her.
I loved her.
And she was really good in this.
She even did her own singing. Fun fact.
Nice.
I was wondering,
Yeah.
and she was really,
She really
good.
did. I like the fishnet look they gave her dress when she was singing, because you're like, ooh, throwback to
There's
the comic
fishnets,
costume.
Yep.
Talking about that, I really enjoyed the soundtrack.
Yes.
Oh, the
The
soundtrack's so good.
was really, really good. Like I'm listening, I'm like, yeah, that's pretty damn good.
I also like that they took like the opportunity to have a diverse cast, as opposed to like they could have easily made all the Birds of Prey white, or even the detective, even though she has shown up in various forms of Batman and is Latina. Like they could have just skipped by that, but they didn't. So it was cool.
Well, Brittany, you were also touching, after we were talking outside the theater for a little bit about the director of this film and how like this was women empowerment all the way down to like the costume design.
Yeah, the female Asian director, whose name I'm forgetting right now.
I will pull it up.
Yeah, look it up for me.
Oh, and I
Because
had it up.
I'm just literally forgetting who directed the film.
One thing that I told Julian in the car as well, though, that I loved about this movie is that the fight choreography was excellent.
Oh, I love
pretty
that.
much every fight, I was like, this is really good stuff. Like,
Really
I don't know
cool.
who the stunt coordinator was, all that
Kathy Yan. Sorry.
There you
Kathy
go.
Yan.
I knew it was Yen, but I couldn't remember the first name.
And honestly, like the movie kind of like did the little one, because I didn't know a woman had directed it at first, but when she's in the police station and the sprinkler system, I was like, oh my God, here they go. They're going to have Margo Robbie in a wet goddamn outfit.
But that wasn't the case this time.
No, but I was like, and then she just started whooping everybody. I was like, thank you,
That
God.
scene
That was
was
a great
so
It's
much
like a
fun.
breath of fresh air. And dude, even when she bounces the bat on the ground to hit the dude and it comes back into her hand, I was just like, I love that this is showing that like Harley can stand on her own. That's the whole theme of the whole movie. Like this dude that's, he may be manipulative and abusive or whatever, but he was your protection. Like you need this man in your life because you can't stand on your own. Like all these female characters was the same thing.
Yep.
So they were just like, women can have agency. They can kick ass. They did it on their own, as we saw in the film. And then in the end, they realized also we shouldn't fight each other. We should work together, which a lot of women have to learn throughout life because you are set up, unfortunately, by the patriarchy to tear each other apart all the time and compete. So there's little things about this film that, it's just nice to see as a woman. So
I loved any moment that Harley was breaking people's legs.
yes. Oh my God. It was such a
It
good
was
theme.
so brutal.
And it was always like really skeevy men, if you noticed,
Yeah.
like either getting their leg eaten by the hyena or
Oh, Bruce.
shipwreck.
I
Oh, I
love
love
Bruce.
Bruce should have been in the movie. Actually, like Bruce, like the fact that he didn't appear at the end at all, because I thought that's
He
what was
did.
going to
he
happen.
did. He was in the car.
No, I'm talking about
Oh,
like
yeah.
in reference to the plot. So
Like show up at Miracle Mile and just be like,
yeah,
Well,
eating
there will be
people.
2 more Harley related movies, so he'll probably be more prevalent.
I want to talk about the 2 villains here. We had Black Mask, and we had Victor Zsasz, who is
So good.
who
I was
was
not
in-
expecting that.
No, I wasn't either, and he was like a good on-screen Victor Zsasz, like the
He was
creep.
creepy.
Yeah, because Victor Zsasz, I think, showed up in.
he was in
Batman
Gotham.
games and Gotham, yeah.
He was
Yeah.
in Gotham. That's
Yeah.
where I remember.
Yeah, and I think he was in Batman Begins all but briefly, and it wasn't really Zsasz.
I don't remember. It's been a while.
He was
Yeah,
in-
he was like mentioned, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think he was really him.
Yeah, I
though.
think that's but he was good. He was like skeevy,
Yeah,
creepy.
explained his scars. I'm leaving this spot for you.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh.
Rob, what did you think? Because you had mentioned a little bit embarrassingly, but we're not judging you, that you didn't know that was Ewan McGregor as Black Mask. But I mean, he was really good.
He did that good of a job.
He did. No, absolutely. And, even going back to Dr. Sleep, huh? No, I watched.
Theme of the week.
No, I watched Dr. Sleep this week. Thanks to you guys.
You're welcome.
And I wasn't even thinking about it, just being like, wow, this guy looks familiar.
'Cause he was so in character.
Where do I know him from? And yeah, he just overtook that character.
Hello there.
He just
Yeah,
took
he
it
did
over.
say that.
And I was just like, oh my gosh.
Did you guys love the Moulin Rouge reference? When she sings "Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend" in her head, and she does that whole thing. Even some of the moves were the
It was
same
really
dance
cool.
moves
Yeah.
from Moulin Rouge, and he was dancing with her. And I was like, I love when they do this. Like Satine in Star Wars, they gotta reference it.
I've never seen Moulin Rouge, so I couldn't pick up on that.
It's just like something he's really famous for. So people,
I
always
know
sprinkle it in.
he's famous for it. I just never have seen it. Never
It's
really had
good.
interest.
It's good
but-
musical.
Is that
It is
bargain
really
bin? We
good.
can get that.
It's a little wild. He's like, can we get a steelbook?
Yeah, but that wouldn't be considered a bargain bin film. That's actually a good film.
It actually
is
was like up
great
for Oscars. I think one.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Didn't it win Best Picture that year or something?
Did
Best
not win
musical or
Best
something?
Picture.
I don't know.
All I know,
It was
Moulin
up for
Rouge-
something.
All I know from Moulin Rouge is the song "Lady Marmalade." So that's.
I think that's
with
how a
Lil-
lot of people,
Yeah,
unfortunately, know it. That's Baz
Luhrmann.
Luhrmann, who also did the live-action Romeo and Juliet film that I absolutely love.
Oh, okay.
Let's also talk about Harley. Because we're going to talk about this film in the place of the current DC extended universe. But I want to talk about Harley herself. This is the Harley Quinn that was in Suicide Squad. I know, Matt, in the car you mentioned how you thought that this movie may have been a little bit tainted by Jared Leto's not great portrayal of the Joker. I didn't think that necessarily, but I know that she's going to be in the upcoming James Gunn Suicide Squad. There's more of these movies planned. Are we happy with how she was done in this film and what she's going to be in the future?
No, absolutely. I mean, I saw and I mentioned the article to you that basically said that this movie's on track to have the lowest weekend opening of any DC movie, and that's why I'm kind of like,
Yeah, it's a shame.
It is.
I mean, yeah, it definitely deserves more love than it is getting. I mean, as I said, just because I don't love it doesn't mean I wouldn't recommend it to people just to, have a good time. And, but as I said in the car to you, is that part of me thinks that some people are not going to see this movie because they're going to think of Jared Leto when they think of Margo Robbie.
And he's
as
not
Harley
even in
Quinn.
it.
No,
That's
he's
the best
not in
part.
it.
The back of him.
No, it's not
Sure.
him.
I
It's
know,
they
I know.
purposely. Yeah, it
I
references
know
his
it's
Joker.
not him, but it's the Joker. Joker's back did show up.
But I want to mention, because I mentioned this to Matt in the car and Brittany's got it, it's not him. They did everything in their power at the beginning of this film and any mention of him besides the Ace Chemicals scene to make him look like the animated Joker that we know from Batman the Animated Series.
Like the bright green
yes,
hair.
exactly.
No
I enjoyed
tattoos.
The picture she did.
Yeah.
And you were
exactly.
mentioning the animated version of that.
Yeah.
So.
But no, also when he shows his back, like that is very clearly not the the Jared Leto version of the Joker. Yeah, just like fuck that guy, like
That's what they said basically.
yeah.
He was just
Which is-
rude to
which
all
is
of his
fair.
castmates. Yeah.
I mean, that's fair. Here's the thing. And I know a lot of people are probably going into this movie thinking, okay, yeah, Joker's going to show up. But this movie was ultimately a giant finger to the Joker.
Yes.
And I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
This movie did not need the Joker, just like Harley did not need the Joker.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Rob's like, agency for women, let's go.
Let's do it.
But Julian, let me ask you. I know you're just about to say something. I
No,
just love
hit it.
throwing this off. I don't know if this was like publicized, but is Birds of Prey kind of considered a little bit of a sequel to Suicide Squad?
It is a sequel in the sense that it is in the same universe and it is the same Harley Quinn.
It's called a spin-off.
Yes,
kids.
Exactly, a spin-off, because they had the Daddy's Little Monster
But it is
shirt at
officially
the
a
end.
spin-off.
Is it
And
officially?
but it's
Okay.
the first in the Harley trilogy, which is a spin-off of Suicide Squad.
And,
Yeah.
and I think it's also important to mention, too, that even though James Gunn's Suicide Squad is not a sequel to that either, that is still going to have that version from Suicide Squad of Harley Quinn. So it is still going to be Margo Robbie. So, yeah, I unfortunately, I mean, Suicide Squad does have this, like, taint on DC Universe and Jared Leto, but
Yeah, and so does Batman versus Superman.
Well,
And Justice
I will
League.
say this is one of my favorite DC films.
oh
that's
yeah,
come out.
absolutely.
Absolutely,
And let's get into that. Where does Birds of Prey rank in the current slew of DC films?
I'd have to get a list of the DC films, which I don't
Yeah, I
have
gotta
in front of
remember.
me, but I'd have to.
I'll tell you. I'll give them to you
Don't
right
you have
now.
to give
because we
Books of all
got
them?
You got
so we got
Man of Steel,
Batman, Superman, Justice League, Shazam,
Aquaman, Suicide Squad,
this, and this. Okay, so we got
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman,
Yeah.
yes.
I would say this, then Wonder Woman. Then I don't really care for anything else.
I would
That's it for me.
go. I would go.
Oh no, then Man of Steel. I really did like Man of Steel. So never mind.
This is going to be a hot take. I don't know if you guys will agree. I almost don't put Man of Steel with the rest of these movies.
I always forget I treat it as standalone.
Like it is such a standalone film until they decide to have this stupid fucking Batman vs Superman movie that nobody wanted or asked for. So it's hard because I really love that film, but I don't want to put it into this DC extended universe, even though it is.
You have to, unfortunately.
So this is my list. If I'd have to put it in a ranking, I would go Shazam, Man of Steel, Birds of Prey, Aquaman, and then I don't want to mention the other films because they're complete utter garbage.
But Julian, Martha.
Why'd you say that name?
it's my mom.
Rob, how about your list?
I gotta say, I enjoyed. I liked Shazam too, just because it diverted from everything that we know about the DC universe and just said, yeah, dark and stormy. Screw this. We're going forward with that.
I'm an asshole, and I also forgot to mention Wonder Woman, which is really good.
I'm pretty sure everybody's top fives are the same 5 films, just in different orders.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, DC has only those 5 films that are really enjoyable.
Yeah, I mean, so Shazam was, I think, tops for me. I honestly have to say Wonder Woman would be
Wonder
my
Woman's
second
really
one
good.
because
It
it
is
was
really
just
good.
so good. I think it kind of broke the mold a little bit. I am excited to see Wonder Woman 84.
Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
I'm looking
I can't
forward
wait.
to
I
it.
will
Because
always
it's
say, though, that I think that Captain Marvel was a better female empowerment film
Oh, for
than
sure.
Wonder Woman. And I think this is
Looking
a great...
at you, Steve Trevor. Did they really have to get it on?
We're gonna have to
That
have a
city?
Wonder Woman versus Captain Marvel debate one of these days.
We could do
because
that. Could
I
be versus.
I actually personally think that Wonder Woman had the better moments in its movies. Like her going over the top of the trench is still
that's
like one
still
of
an
my
amazing scene, yeah.
one of my most favorite like superhero scenes in recent memory. So,
But also, you have to look at it as Wonder Woman is kind of like the origin story, while
Yeah.
Captain Marvel just said, "Screw the origin story, we're going to do this," which was I kind of liked how that Captain Marvel went.
No matter what, I thought this movie was fun. It was good. The biggest thing it did for me is got me really excited about more Margo Robbie as Harley Quinn because she is the fucking shit. Like, she is so much fun. She is so good.
She gets the character.
She
understands
yes.
comic version. Like, I agree.
Yep. I can't wait. So, very quickly, let's go around. And Rob, you're our guest. We'll start with you. Favorite scene
Oh,
of Birds of Prey. I know Brittany was going to scoff at that.
no, I'm excited.
So many.
There's so many good ones. Oh, we all have different ones.
The breakfast sandwich.
Oh, God damn it. You don't understand what that breakfast sandwich meant to me, Rob. Wait, which part?
That looks so fucking good.
The loss or the
actual
reunion?
making of it.
Oh, the making of it. That's good. I'll allow it.
Just a little dab of hot sauce. I
We can
want
all
to
pick-
taste the cheese.
We can pick a different moment from that.
Yeah, right.
But I take bacon. No, but I liked.
That's fine. I'll take the hot sauce.
Sriracha? No.
Yeah, like the fan blowing on her and her hair blowing.
No, but I kind of like. I'm kind of split between the prison scene. I'm sorry, the jail scene with with
She kicked ass in the water.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
sprinklers going off. That
Insane.
was fantastic.
Awesome choreography.
And I think I kind of liked. I really liked the funhouse scene.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was really awesome.
I'm split between those. I'll leave it at that.
I guess we'll just go in a circle. I'll go. Because of the semi-current run of Harley Quinn going on right now, I fucking loved Harley Quinn roller derby scene.
Yes.
Her with like the pigtails and the awesome outfit, just beating the shit out of all those other skaters. I was like, hell yes! Like,
I love
so
that she
awesome.
skated in the
and
end,
then
too.
I want
Oh
to
my
say
God.
like that goes into Huntress giving her a ride on the motorcycle and her skating and kicking the shit out of people even more. I loved it.
Shit was wild.
Let's go, egg sandwich.
I have two favorite scenes. My biggest one is for sure, like the other one will be an honorable mention, was when the breakfast sandwich flies from her arms and hits the ground and she like reaches out, because in the trailer they hyped it up and was like so dramatic, and she's got tears in her eyes reaching out with her arms, and you're like, oh God, does she see somebody die before her? Is this like pre-breakup with Joker? Like, what is happening? And it turns out she just fucking loses her breakfast sandwich, which is the only thing she cares about in the world anymore. So she literally says this line where she's like, and when you watch the thing you love get destroyed right before you, or you lose that thing you love. Oh my God. And then it put her on the path to where she has to be in the movie. But I was just like, that's how you know. It's like, this is written and directed by a woman, because like, she's not crying over some man. She's not crying over this shit. When Black Canary's like fighting, when they're all doing the awesome fight scene where they're like protecting the girl and go around in a circle, and she's trying to like fight, but her hair keeps getting in her face. And she like knocks out the guy behind him. She's like, oh, hair tie? And like hands it to her. I was like, thank you. I'm tired of like superhero films where all these women have their hair down. Like, I'm sorry, Black Widow would not. I like when she has it braided. I can't even go for a jog with my hair down. That would drive me insane.
how awesome was it that she was still kicking ass while putting her hair back? Like, she was like
that's who
kicking
she
it.
was like kicking, and like, and the next scene you see it. Oh, it's so good. Wholesome.
So I really enjoyed her storming the police station. Like, obviously that led into the whole scene.
Yes.
But like her using like the grenade launcher, and she's just like boom, like shooting it,
And the
reloading.
random
Like,
shit in it.
so cartoon Harley Quinn.
Yeah,
like, with
there's
all
like
these
there's
fun bean
there's
bags.
like the she has like the different colored smoke grenades. She has the little confetti ones, the boxing like the sandbag ones, or
yeah.
I
the
love that
beanbag,
whole
rather.
scene.
But that's
Yeah.
that's a good take on Harley. It seems honestly like she doesn't ultimately like kill, but she ultimately
I don't
just
know,
wants
man.
to.
She fucking
She wants to.
kills the
She
shit
just
out of
wants to
Black
fuck
Mask
shit
at the
up.
end.
And she wants to fuck shit up.
She has her signature
and just yeah. I mean, in most cases, it looks like she didn't really kill, but she just wanted to create mayhem and chaos. you know?
All right, guys. EIP film reel score time, and Rob as our guest. What do you give it out of 5?
I will give it a 4.
All right, a 4 out of 5. Brittany,
5 breakfast sandwiches out of 5.
dig it.
Just because I had fun.
I'm kind of bouncing between 3.5 and 4. So as I said, I liked the movie. I didn't love it. I had some pacing issues, and I wasn't a fan of decisions like, say, killing Black Mask at the end of it, like blowing his ass up with a grenade, because I felt like,
You want to see him again?
I want to see him again, because Ewan McGregor, as Rob and everybody else has said, like, was really good in the role. Like, Ewan McGregor is honestly a dude who's like become like an amazing actor, and I feel like we've all kind of missed it. Like, just all of a sudden, it's like, man, Ewan McGregor is like really freaking
He just
good.
pops up occasionally. It's like, hello there.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm still here, still Oscar worthy.
I'm not just Obi-Wan,
Hello there.
All right. Well, I guess that leaves me. I'll give it I was going to go with a 3 because I was disappointed initially in the car, but the more we talked about it, I remember how fun it was. I'm going to go with 3.5. So 3.5 for Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation.
And I
of
feel like
one
all
Harley
those
Quinn.
views are good.
Yep.
Everybody's ratings are good and they're solid.
Rob, thanks for joining us. Thanks for coming. You are now free of your Indiegogo contribution help thing.
Now we're done with you,
We're done
Rob.
with you. Don't come back.
It's like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. And
I will
whatnot.
tell our audience, please go out and see it to at least support
Yes.
female directors and put DC on the right track for
Yeah,
better
because
films.
it is a wild ride. It is
Support
a
the
wild
women
ride.
that worked hard to make it. Support diversity.
Yeah. So, Rob, thank you for joining us. And we're going to move right along here. It is time for the latest edition of Are You Still Watching? And we are going to be talking about Picard. And we're going to be going through, this is another one of Matt's segments, the first 3 episodes of the show. If you haven't already listened to it, episode 50, Make It So. It was our big Picard review, and we all thoroughly enjoyed it. And we're going to talk about the first 3 episodes here. Brittany's really into the music.
Rocking out that violin, baby.
She is. And yeah, so we had Remembrance, we had Maps and Legends, and episode 3 was The End is the Beginning. Where are we on Picard? Matt, I'm just going to start with you.
So far, I have enjoyed Picard, but it definitely has problems. I'm not a fan of what they did to the Starfleet, to the Federation, because Star Trek was always supposed to be the best of what humanity can be. Yes, I love things like Deep Space Nine, which kind of show the dark underbelly of it all, and I was fine with how Deep Space Nine did it because it was basically like Section 31 was like, look, you all live this idyllic life. Like, we are the ones that kind of keep it going and do the things that people don't like to do. But going back to Picard, though, is that I don't like them turning the entire Federation into xenophobic. Like, the Federation is literally comprised of like thousands upon thousands of species that all work together to make this government work. And the fact that they would suddenly go, we really don't like the Romulans because they're creepy and weird, like that just doesn't jive with me in the Star Trek lore.
It's not believable that 14 races would want to pull out.
I mean, Brittany, I think, is kind of making a joke here, but I actually agree with her. And this is where I differ with you on this so much. I was dying for them to go down this route and tell this story because I think that Starfleet, from what we've seen of the original series, Next Generation, and even Voyager for that matter, the Federation and Starfleet have been held to an impossibly high standard. You cannot for the life of me believe that all 14 or however many planets make up the Federation all have the same views and all have the same ideas. And if they did at one point, how that couldn't evolve to turn into something like what Starfleet has, maybe, we don't fully know, become. I strongly believe that Starfleet is involved on the attack on Mars. We'll obviously find out, but I love it. I absolutely love that about the show.
I mean, I'm enjoying it so far. I want to see more of it. I think it's interesting that they're making it more intrigue and that Starfleet's, changed with time and they don't see it themselves and only Picard does or certain other people do. And you even have some undercover agents going on. I think it's interesting. At least it's a different sort of plot, but at the same time, he is leaving. So how much of this will really be solved just in this show?
What do you mean by him? You mean by leaving?
Like, he's literally like going off planet.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
you know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah.
So like Starfleet is massive. So he's just one guy who's seeing these issues. How much of this will really change? Will they eventually see the error in their ways?
It's kind of vaguely about, the issues that we see in episode 1 with, why he left Starfleet or why he believes Starfleet wasn't necessarily Starfleet anymore. We get more of that in episode 2. We also have this whole thing with, Data's possible offspring. Episode 2 spends a lot of time with exposition. How did we feel after Maps and Legends?
I felt episode 2 spun its wheels, because episode 1 establishes, okay, there are these 2, female androids, Data's daughter, quote unquote, that one dies as far as we know. And I think she's dead. Like, I know we kind of,
At this point, I
am
more
like,
that
I
way.
am 99% certain that she died. Cause also I kind of rewatched the episode and like, you could see her like basically disintegrating in the explosion. So she's dead. Dodge is dead.
And especially the way that Zhaban reacted to in episode 3 to getting on him, how quickly they got his jacket off, and then the dude fucking.
Probably why they did it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's actually
Just
a
to be
good
like,
point.
Yo,
Yeah.
theories. We knew that would happen.
I mean, I also episode 2 spun its wheels a little bit because once again, episode 1, we established, all right, Picard is now looking for this other girl, for this other android, because she's connected to Data and so on and so forth. And then we go back and basically spin our wheels about, him like going back to Starfleet and saying, I want a ship. And of course the Admiral basically swearing in Star Trek, which doesn't normally happen. It was a little jarring. I'm not going to lie to you. I wasn't expecting it, but I mean, I felt that you could have done more because the second episode didn't really establish much more that the first episode did. Like it didn't really advance the plot that much, in my opinion.
I feel like episode 2 was definitely, it's like at some point they decided that they were going to split the story that way into these 2 episodes, because they should have just done a longer first episode pilot or like a movie. Julie and I were discussing this earlier, because it felt like episode 2 was a bunch of different scenes that they definitely wanted to put in episode 1, but it would have made it too long.
Yeah.
So I think that the first 2 episodes should have really been together for exposition.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah, I like we were saying, Star Trek Discovery did this where their 2-parter was a 2-hour pilot. And I think that, these 3 episodes especially would have worked so much better if that had been the format. My biggest issue with episode 2 is, like Brittany said, there were all these scenes that were together and just so much backstory. And the episode ends abruptly. Like it literally runs out of time, which I mentioned in my review, which I did not like. As for the swearing in Star Trek, I was listening to the guys over at Star Trek Discovery Pod the other day, and they actually made a good point. Like, these days in TV and just like in our daily lives, it's almost jarring not to hear people swear. So hearing like this admiral, even though I did not like the scene, or I should say I liked the scene but didn't think it fit. When she says like sheer fucking hubris, it's great. Like, I love it. I think it's very out of place, but I think it's like great to hear that in Star Trek, because listen, you can be proper and you can not have money and everybody can, let go of all their, whatever, but people still like tell people to fuck off.
I'll challenge our audience right now. If there could be one F word in any other Star Trek episode or show, what character would it go to? What would they say? Would it be shut the fuck up, Wesley? Or would it be like fucking plah? Like, I don't know. You tell me.
Oh,
what the
shit.
What the
You're right.
What the fuck have you done now, Garrick?
Yeah, so let us know. Let us know what episode it would have been, what key moment you wanted the F word in. If you had one F word to give anybody.
How about the end of one of the episodes where Picard's just tired and is just like, just fucking engage. Just go.
Make it fucking so.
To boldly go when no one has fucking gone before.
How would you use swearing in Star Trek? We want to know. Email us at permittedpod@gmail.com. We're not kidding. Let's see.
I
I'm actually
literally
very
wanna know.
curious now. Let's talk about episode 2 some more, even though it was, I think we could all agree episode 2 was out of these 3, the worst of the 3.
Was episode 2, I can't remember, where they basically said like, oh, the Tal Shiar is just a mask for like a darker, which
It was
I,
the
that was
info
episode
dump.
1 /
okay, I'm
2,
sorry.
yeah.
Okay. I thought I actually, and I
Oh,
think
no, you're right. That was episode 2.
No, it was
yeah,
episode
because
three.
I was not a fan of them doing that, because like, oh, we need to have like a even secreter organization.
You and I
inside the
disagree
Tal
so much
Shiar.
on this.
I know we do.
But didn't you like when it was Laris or Laris?
Laris. My favorite character, and I don't know how to pronounce her name.
I'm just going to call her Laris for now.
Laris.
until
All right, I like
I'm going to
Laris.
hate myself later. Or Laris. What sounds more? Damn it, now I'm
Laris.
overthinking.
Oh
Laris.
my
We'll go
God.
Laris. When she's like talking about it, she's basically, I mean, I love her character. She's amazing. And then when she's just doing all her awesome finding out
Tal Shiar shit, yeah.
her sneaky stuff. And she's just like, the culture's very secretive, so you got to be even more secretive than the best of the secretives.
She has a great line, too. She calls the
SS
Zod
stands for secret in our society. You know what I mean?
She has that line when they're in Dodge's apartment. She goes, cheeky fuckers, or like cheeky fucking buggers, or something like that. Yeah.
Cheeky fuckers.
Yeah, I love that.
They didn't just wipe it, they scrubbed it clean.
Episode 2 also took us on to this, Romulan reclamation site, which is a Borg cube. And my biggest issue with it is that in all, I guess the 2 episodes that we were really on the cube, it's always leaving me with more questions than answers. Like, I feel like they could be talking less in tongues and being a little bit more straightforward with it.
I also feel that they are completely Chekhov's gunning that Borg cube, because when they're like, oh, it's cut off from the collective, because the woman's like, well, could they activate or something like that? And they're like, no, they'll never activate. And I'm just like, when are they going to activate? When are they going to reconnect to the collective and these drones just start just coming out of everywhere and start assimilating people? And now it's like, oh shit, oh God. Like, when is that going to happen in this season? So
I was just going to say, the episode was all about secrets.
It
that was
really
the whole
is.
thing. Like, oh, we just had sex? It's going to be a secret. We're in a Borg cube, but it's a secret from the larger collective. Like, everything was just a secret within
Lieutenant,
a
what's her name?
secret.
Secretly a Romulan.
Exactly. And you're like, the Romulans have secretly infiltrated.
Commodore O, awesome secret shades.
Yep, dude, the sunglasses. We got to talk about Sunglass Gate.
Sunglass Gate, yo.
Not only why did she have them, but was she also trying to do some like brainwashy shit there? Like, what were they for? Were they special secret agent sunglasses?
I think she was in Tokyo, and
Dude,
it was
no,
sunny. It was
they
a
were
sunny
bad.
day. It was so
They were
bad.
Was she hiding her special
She was at
Romulan
Daystrom, and
eyes?
Daystrom's in Tokyo. Yeah.
Anyway, I just thought it was
anyway,
weird. I was like, what?
I want the Borg stuff to be more straightforward, but talking about secrets, if anybody else noticed, again, Karen, she's one of the fellow Patreons like me over at Star Trek Discovery Pod. No one else saw it. I watched episodes twice, and I didn't notice it in episode 3 when Ramda is touching Soji, her gradient thing turns green.
I only watched it once, and I saw that.
I missed it twice. A lot of people missed it.
It's very bright.
I didn't
and
notice
it means get the fuck out.
It
Because
does.
immediately I was like, oh shit.
Like, are nanites like in Soji now, but they didn't do
was
anything?
that episode 2?
That was episode 3.
Okay, 3. Okay,
I
see,
know. No, that's
I know
my
it's
fault.
making me nervous.
We're jumping, baby.
Because I have things I want to say about episode 3.
Well, let's get into episode 3 then,
Yes.
because it definitely picked back up from what was a mediocre episode 2.
Okay, episode 2 was a slow burn. I wouldn't say it's bad. Just could be better. But episode 3 I thought was a lot more engaging. I know that's like a Star Trek pun, but it was more interesting because like you're seeing more. You're seeing more about the twin sister, Soji, right?
Soji, yep.
Yeah, Soji, and like just her interactions within the Borg cube with other people. Like you're seeing that you're like, wow, this, like she's different. She like gets it, you know. And then even when she's interacting with the woman who's been assimilated, like just the puzzle she's putting down, like a lot of symbolism is put into these.
Well, I think in that scene she was like activating in a different way than Daj did, because she even said like later on, like, I didn't know any about that. Like I've never heard. I didn't even know a Romulan ship got assimilated.
She was getting like. I mean, even when her mom calls her on the phone, she literally has activation words. Oh, she bought a dog. She's thinking about getting, and she starts to fall asleep. I was like, girl's a sleeper cell. She doesn't even know.
Yeah.
This was my favorite scene of
That was
episode
awesome.
3 because that I wrote about it in my review. That was deep sleeper cell, sleeper agent shit. That person who is not obviously her mother used secret coding. Like if we're gonna like make analogies, Winter Soldier in Civil War.
Yeah.
She put her to sleep because she was asking too many questions and made her forget some shit.
The sun's getting real low.
Exactly. I think that she was on the verge of activating, and they were like, oh no, knock that shit off. We're not ready for that yet.
Fun fact, the mom is played by Sumali Montano.
Boom.
She's awesome.
There it is.
She's a big
so here's
D&D
a
player.
question though. Who is the mom on the other end of the
There is
communicator?
a theory that it is Maddox.
Just using a false
Yeah,
face.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Our theme of the week, masks and false
Masks
faces.
and false faces, indeed. Matt, episode 3.
So I actually did enjoy episode 3. I actually like the setup of the ship and all that. I like what's the captain's
Captain
name?
Rios.
Oh, Rios.
Rios.
Why'd you say like a Rios? That sounded like God. Weirdo.
Because I'm a weirdo.
Okay, but Captain Rios, I like the fact that the EMH and the ENH are basically his company because it makes
And they're him.
yeah, and they're him, and it makes when you think about it, it makes perfect sense because human beings are social creatures, and a dude on the ship by himself would need somebody to talk to. So you might as well make it yourself and have conversations because obviously,
I don't know. It's a little psycho, dude.
well, yeah, but the thing is that you need to interact with somebody, but like. It's instead of like having voices in his head, they're literally outside talking to him. And I really enjoyed that fact. And I like the fact that obviously they know stuff about him. Like they're both, because both the holograms were like, well, why don't you do this? You know, it's Captain Picard. You know, you got to feel like something seeing him in here.
And, there's that great scene with Rios where, like, Picard's like, you'll neat and tidy and yes, Starfleet to the core. And he basically reverses Picard when he tells Wesley to
Get off my bridge.
because he's like, hire me or find another pilot, but don't try to get in my fucking head.
I will say Picard so far has been one giant vibe check. Like everybody's vibe checking Picard.
Yep.
Every single interaction, whether he's friends with them or not,
Yep.
it's just rough. She's like, you didn't check up on me after all those years. And I was like, oh, rough.
Can I say real quick? I hated her calling him JL.
JL, I was about to get there.
Oh my God. That every time she says it, it drives me insane. Call him Picard. Call him John Luke.
This show's biggest issue so far has been pacing and dialogue. Some of the dialogue is very wonky and forced, and Rafi's acting was a little over. I still like all of the JL crap drove me crazy, but I also really loved the very beginning opening of the show, of the episode of them at Starfleet. Like, I personally wanted to see Picard.
I wanted those uniforms.
Yes, I just ordered my comm badge.
Amazing.
I did.
But like in the 14-year, like
Yeah.
back in time, like their uniforms were so cool there. I was
yeah.
like, why did you change?
Right? I mean, they're really nice.
Yeah,
and I
they're
thought,
really cool.
I did
The
think
back
that the
looks
show...
I just thought of a soundbite to get for you later on. I'll tell you at the end of this.
Sounds good. I thought that the show needed to show Picard in uniform at least one more time, even briefly, like
Yeah.
in an actual official role. I think they did a great job with it. I liked that he never expected for Starfleet to call his bluff. And I just have to say it, I wrote it in my review. Massive props to the design and effects team for slightly perfectly de-aging him.
Yes, I did notice that.
It was great. It was so well done. So
I also like Dr. Girardi. When she
she's
walks in the house, hold on. When
She's bad.
Hold on. But when she walks in the house and she uses the Romulan gun and she's just like, I hope that was stun. And I said it the same time the characters did. I was just like, there is no stun. And they were like, yeah, there's no stun. And I was like, yes.
Laris is my favorite character.
I love
because, like,
her.
there are no stun settings on Romulan.
There's no stun settings on Romulan guns.
Quick theory before we wrap up. I think Girardi is, I didn't think so at first, but I think she's evil or she's bad.
But the thing is, we were just talking about it, the sunglass scene, I literally think she was like, that was a test. Like either
I just think that she went to write it
or
and
maybe
picked
it's
up
like some
shades real
HUD,
quick.
like in video games, how you can like measure stats and stuff, but like either measuring her like dilation, trying to find out if she's telling the truth or not. The sunglasses were weird. Why were in that scene? If not to turn
Sunglass
her
gate.
against him.
Sunglass
Gate. Girardi, if she's bad, it's because of the sunglasses.
but seriously, like perfect timing getting there. Where the hell did she get a Romulan blaster from?
Exactly.
You know?
She was already in there. What if she's being sleeper celled too? What if her words are like data and before?
And I think that's a great way to end because so far the things that we've learned from these 3 episodes is that the Tal Shiar are operating on Earth. Starfleet is not what it once was and was possibly complicit in the attack on Mars.
The show's basically X-Files now, like trust no one.
Yeah, and I like
format.
that. I like that they're doing something different like that
Matt's
with Star Trek, and I
angry.
know Matt doesn't.
I'm not angry about it, but once again, my thing that I always loved about Star Trek is seeking out new lives and new civilizations.
Well, this ain't your mommy Star Trek.
Oh my god.
Wow.
It might still happen though. Just think, what if eventually, like maybe season 1 is finding the twin sister and like solving shit, but maybe after that she joins his crew?
Well, also the thing is that we still don't even have all the freaking characters here. We don't have Sword Dude yet, which is next episode, obviously.
Which is going to be a filler awesome episode of swords. And we're going to see Picard fence.
Picard fencing.
So if you're on the fence about this show, check out the next episode with fencing.
Get off my bridge.
All right, guys.
I think I just might.
So
I feel like there's a lot to dissect in the show. It's just like I'm trying to even remember.
Yeah.
well, it is,
specific
and
things.
you know, I think that's why it's great that we're having this little bit of a break, and when we come back, we can talk about the show a little
How
bit
do you
more.
feel about the bad guy? I know that
Narek,
you
I
have
like his
notions.
evil sister better.
yeah,
Yeah.
Narek is like honestly, he's not interesting to me right now.
Oh, I think he's very interesting. I think that he's a fuckboy. Like
Oh,
that is
definitely.
all he is he is a fuckboy, and that is his purpose, and that his sister is the mastermind.
He's like every dude in high school that smoked in the back of class and like thought he could get all the girls because he wears cool band
I
t-shirts.
think that he
I'm edgy and
I think
cool.
he's a bit of a red herring.
He's an
I don't
edgelord.
think that he's the actual.
Yeah.
the show's full of red
I think he
herrings.
actually might end up turning good because I think he's got way too much hots for Soji. So
If you could sum the show up in grapes, the first episode was a nice solid grape. The other one was out in the sun a little too long. And that third one,
just a little sour. No, and the third one was good.
no, the third one was
sweet.
good. Yeah.
Sweet.
A nice Pinot.
So if we're reviewing the show in grapes, no. If you had to review the show right now based off the first 3 episodes, Matt, where would you put it?
It's a tough call for me. So I'm kind of bounced. Like I would say around a 4. Like could be drifting down a little bit lower right now. Like I'm interested to see more of it. You know, I mean, even if the show is complete garbage, I'm probably still watching it just because I'm all right. It's,
Yes,
it's
of
Jean-Luc
course.
Picard.
Yep.
I want to see what they're doing with it, how they're going forward. So
Yeah. I'll agree that it's not, I'm not going to give it a 5. I'll probably give it a 4 because the intrigue is there. I just feel like they should have done the first 3 episodes of exposition a different way, whether they made a
Agreed.
huge special or a huge movie, or maybe put all 3 episodes out at once right away for it to be like, this is Picard, and then slowly did the week by week, because it's just been rough week by week.
It has been rough week by week. I really wish that at least the first 3 episodes were bingeable. They released the first 3 episodes to the press that way. I wish they'd done that with us or made a 2-hour movie. I'm going to give it a 3.5. I'm definitely. I guess we'll ask that question now. Matt, are you still watching? I believe you already said yes.
yeah, I'm still watching it. As I said, Jean-Luc Picard, Patrick Stewart, like continuation of Star Trek: The Next Generation, of the universe, which is something that always drove me nuts, that they never seem to want to go past where Deep Space Nine left off.
Yeah. Oh, well, now we're here. Brittany.
I'm definitely on Borg. I'm on board for
Get
this
off
show.
my bridge.
Watching through my cousin's CBS All Access.
None of you can see it, but Brittany has been like sketching a Star Trek
Starfleet
combat.
Delta. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just dealing with it.
I am obviously still watching. I'm a Jean-Luc Picard fanboy, and I always will be. So that does it for our Picard segment of Are You Still Watching? I believe we have about 3 or 4 episodes. I'm not exactly sure how they're breaking the season down, but I think we have some episodes to dissect, and I'll be reviewing while we're on break. So that's Are You Still Watching? Coming up next. Winners, losers, the Oscars. We'll have that. Stick around.
At the Oscars, you're supposed to get what you fucking deserve. Did it happen? You're about to find out.
No. The answer is no. Welcome.
Julian didn't get what he fucking deserved.
No. Welcome back to the show. It is very late. We are not in the basement at Wade's Comic Madness anymore. We have moved things over to Chateau Brown, aka my kitchen, where this little show here it all began.
Wow, we just came full circle. I just
We
realized.
really
It's pretty
did.
much the opposite of the Oscars, which was more of a Chateau Blanc. So,
Yeah. And then some. So we are here to end our season with the 2020, I believe she said it was the 92nd or 93rd.
92nd.
Yep.
92nd edition of the Academy Awards. Here we are. And guys, that was unexpected,
Yeah.
to say the least.
That is putting it mildly, I believe, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, considering Dr. Sleep wasn't up there at all. It was a
Dr.
big shock
Sleep wasn't
to me.
up there at all.
Or Frozen 2.
We're just going to get right down and say it. Parasite took the Oscars this year.
Just like its namesake.
Yep.
Wormed its way into the show, took what it needed, and rose victorious. So
I think it is the first official, and we're just going to give it right away here, the first film to ever win, and we'll have to figure
the
this out
first
later.
film to ever win?
Listen, I'm not done yet.
International film.
It is the first film to win both Best Picture and Best International Film on the same award show. I think that's true. We'll have to fact check that. This isn't CNN, so
Yes, that actually is correct, Julian.
Ding, ding.
South Korea's Parasite becomes the first foreign language film to win an Oscar for Best Picture.
and this is why Rob is joining us as well.
He's a fact checker.
He was there listening to us to Picard, and now he's back joining us for our Academy Awards breakdown. Let's just go through these all very quickly. We'll go in a circle here. I'll start, and then we'll go clockwise. Visual effects went to
1917.
1917.
which was well deserved, though I think Matt and I, we both agreed Avengers maybe should
Yeah,
have
I
taken the
do.
cake.
I do think Avengers Endgame, deserved it more because what they were able to do with the motion capture, with Josh Brolin as Thanos, obviously, plus like all the
Well,
stuff.
just like
they did.
everybody coming out of the portals and not having them all look like little CGI people, they did a very good job.
Yeah,
So,
and I mean 1917's use of CG in the background for setting and everything, that was all very,
Beautiful.
very, very good, excellent. But I do think that Avengers Endgame probably should have taken that.
But then there's also Rose the
disagree.
Hat going through the sky and Doctor Sleep,
Right,
which also
which
should
is
have been on it.
beautiful.
We're gonna talk about Doctor Sleep for every one of these categories, and then Rob for costume and design.
Little Women.
Pretty much the lock at the Oscars if you do a period
A
piece.
Victorian era period
A
piece.
period drama.
Yeah, it's-
Ironically, Bombshells was also a period piece, but for a different reason. Didn't.
That was yes.
Mother of God.
I'm making these more enjoyable now for Julian. He's going to look back and be like, they were actually fun Oscars.
I need it right now because you can't hear it and you don't know how this night has been for me, but I'm not in a very good mood. And then moving right along, original song went to...
I'm Gonna Love Me Again from Rocket Man, Elton John, and Bernie Taupin.
I don't know about you guys. I love Elton John. I got a text from my brother. He was even like, I thought, and he hasn't seen Frozen 2. Into the Unknown was the actual, was a song he wanted to win. I think Frozen 2 got snubbed at these Oscars. That's just me. I don't know.
It definitely got the cold shoulder.
Oh.
I think Heather kind of said it best about, like, it sounded like an Elton John song. Like,
Yeah.
it's not a bad thing by any
it's
stretch.
not.
but-
It just wasn't anything special.
Yeah.
Let's move right along for one of my favorite categories every year. Best original score went, and Brittany, you're actually going to have to help me out because I don't know how to pronounce her last name. Hildur,
I'm going to try my best. Hildur Guðnadóttir.
and she won for Joker, which was just an awesome, incredible, deep, dark, very just like powerful score for Joker. I think that we all would have, either like this to win or Thomas Newman for 1917. I know, Matt, you mentioned possibly giving it to John Williams just because I think this is his last film with Rise of Skywalker. I'm happy she won. That score was fantastic.
Absolutely. It's well deserved. And
I don't think John Williams wants to be known for The Rise of Skywalker.
I don't think so either.
I think he's fine. He's like, you know what? I'll retire on the next one.
And Brittany, I know that you're really happy with this pick as well.
Yeah, I jumped out of my seat when it happened. I was like, yes.
Let's keep going, Matt. We're going up to production design.
So production design went to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which
everyone groaned about.
that, I mean, like, how did 1917 not win that?
Especially
get
because
that.
they filmed on the Hollywood backlot, if I'm not mistaken, for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, and I mean, like, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is like, it's a nice movie, but I wasn't like blown away by it. Like, I give Quentin Tarantino all the props because the guy is a true like artist when it comes
Love
to making
him.
his movies, but yeah, so.
All right, moving along. We're going into sound now. Sound mixing, and Rob, that went to
1917.
which so well deserved.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the things in 1917 that constantly got me was the film, because it's basically them just walking. There were so many moments of silence during that film when a bullet went off or when there was an explosion. It would literally make you jump because the sound was so well done and few and far between those kind of things.
And it was quiet when it had to be quiet. It was loud when it had to be loud.
And then moving right along, sound editing went to
Ford versus Ferrari.
which is a really good film. And if you're going to give it to one of these like car racing, yeah, exactly. Like, who doesn't love a good engine revving?
Oh my God.
Brittany should have won the
I
Oscar,
haven't seen it.
apparently. Really good. That's another one that we should sit down and
Well, I plan to get it. I think this Tuesday it
Yeah.
comes out, so I
Yeah.
definitely plan to get it.
Gotta go fast. The other film I want to see like that is Sonic, which was not up for an Oscar because it's not out yet. But this Valentine's Day, I might just take myself to see it.
Take that special person to go see Sonic.
guys, before we move on, I think it's very important that we mention that not one single song from Cats was nominated for original song.
Fucking
We're
God.
going to discuss
To be fair, it's not
that.
original.
We're getting there.
We're gonna get there.
We are going to get there. Moving along to film editing, and the winner for film editing also went to Ford vs. Ferrari. Again, great film. We'll just keep going. International feature film. This is where things started to get real.
This is when Brittany started getting really good at this game.
Yeah. I'll actually change it up because you want to talk about it. International. It's new now. It used to be best foreign film, and now it's best international feature film. Went to
Parasite from South Korea.
and ended up just
killing it.
Killing it.
Literally what parasites do. So like I think they knew. I think they knew when they named it. Let's be honest. Although they looked really, surprised every time they're up there for an award. They were just thankful. They're like, "Oh my God."
I did not see that. Like I none of this I saw coming all night. Moving along, documentary, short subject, and that went to what, Rob?
The Neighbor's Window.
Yes, The Neighbor's Window.
Kind of looked like that little snippet that they did.
But then Shia LaBeouf said The Neighbor's Widow, and I was like,
Yeah.
different film.
It looked interesting.
Yeah.
'Cause I was thinking to myself, wow, it kind of reminds me of Rear Window. So, but apparently it's not. So,
No, it's the side window this time.
side window.
And then moving all the way.
He's like, Verta going on.
Oh damn! And then moving all the way to documentary feature film, and that went to what?
American Factory, which I didn't.
Who knows?
I thought it was like the documentary about Obama, right? Wasn't that one?
It looked like it had to do with
Maybe not. I might be making that up.
like
Sorry, guys.
American manufacturing.
yeah, exactly.
maybe.
A lot
Sorry.
about what Joaquin Phoenix was talking about with his his best picture.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
acceptance speech.
I didn't know a lot of these.
No, that's okay. I didn't either. That's why we're going to try and get past them real quick. One that we're all extremely happy for coming back to me here. Cinematography. Roger Deakins wins for 1917, and how could he
Well
not?
deserved.
Yes,
Well deserved.
absolutely,
Beautiful.
absolutely.
Cinematographic.
I mean, yeah, it was so stupid good. Like everything about 1917 and its cinematography. It's, I think, the thing that we talked about most when we did our review.
Just so the audience knows, I said it like that because of the whole skit they did
I
beforehand.
was trying to ignore you.
No, I know. I just want to let them know. Like, I said it like that for a reason.
If you want to hear more about how much we love 1917 and its cinematography, you can listen to our review, but we're going to move right along here. And Matt, you said that you think this is where things kind of started to go get a little wonky at original screenplay.
Yeah, original screenplay was won by Parasite, beating out 1917 Marriage Story, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Knives Out, which, I mean, Knives Out you could kind of toss aside, but...
I'm at this weird place because everybody has made it very clear to me that I have not seen Parasite, so I really shouldn't be judging it as hard as I can, but I've seen Knives Out, which I didn't love, Marriage Story I loved, 1917 I loved, you liked Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I can't say anything about the film. I just know that this is like there are other films that I would have liked to win. That's me. Let's move on to adapted.
Well, you know what? Han Jin won, and he did won. He won it. In case you guys didn't know, that was the other
Please, no!
director on the project.
No! No!
Moving along to adapted screenplay, and that went to what, Rob?
I've decided I'm a Parasite stan.
It went to Jojo Rabbit, which was
Dying to see this movie still.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see that
I
one.
really want to see
Yeah.
Jojo Rabbit.
Yep.
It just it looks.
I was surprised that
interesting.
Little Women didn't really get much of anything.
You know, because it's been done and
Yeah,
done
I
and
think
done
that's
and done
why,
and
yeah.
done. I think it was like, okay.
But a lot of people really praise this version.
I know. I wanted to see it. I missed
Another
it.
Little Women movie. Oh,
All right, let's get to...
By now, they should be big women. Little women just stacked on top of each other like Russian dolls.
Well, that's what I said when they showed the one clip. I'm like, all these women look average size.
This is
Costume
actually,
design.
there's a little cute thing. Right before we started the Oscars, I realized that one of the nominees was a Pixar short that was not, their normal like CG animation, but like actual drawn
it
animation.
looked hand animated.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was.
and that was Kit Bull. So we actually watched it right before the Oscars started, and I think because of that, we all really wanted it to. I mean, I saw it last year, but
It did sway my vote.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
it did not win. But animated short went to what?
It went to Hair Love.
There you go.
Just really nice. It's a good little.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
It's funny because I had seen like Hair Love on Facebook a few days ago, and if I had connected the two, I might have actually picked Hair Love as my winner. But obviously, I picked.
I loved it, and it deserved to win.
Moving along to where I'm the most bitter with things at the moment. Animated, well, maybe
That's
not the
definitely not the
most.
most.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
that is
I
not
take
the
that
most.
back. Where some of my rage lies.
This
at
is
the
where it
moment.
started.
This is where it started.
Scorsese didn't do an animated film.
No, maybe he fucking should have. Okay.
Guys, he really hates Scorsese.
Would you watch that?
Would I watch a Scorsese animated film? Yeah, because it's not the fucking Irishman.
Dude, he could make it animated.
He could make an Irish.
It would have been better than the CG for their. Oh my god, they're like.
Yeah, I'm
Can't
gonna. I got you, girl. I got you.
can't.
Best animated
late, guys.
feature did not go to Frozen 2 because it wasn't fucking nominated. It did go to stupid Toy Story 4, which should have been made in the first place. Good job, Disney. Well done. Way to kill all the other films.
I guess you can say Frozen 2 was the missing link to Julian's grand master plan.
Jesus.
I don't
That
know
was
about missing
good.
link,
That
but they had
was
an
good.
awesome mango icy flavor at the movies when it came out, so that's why I support it.
Yeah, Toy Story 4. Yeah, I mean, keep rolling them out, guys. They'll win every year, I guess.
Disney. Hashtag Oscar so Disney.
And then again, Matt, this is one of the biggest ones of the night. Director went to.
And Bong Joon-ho, I think is how you
Yep.
say it?
Yes.
Yes, Bong Joon-ho of Parasite. Like that.
Didn't surprise me because he did win, I believe, at the Golden Globes.
I
Or a
just
previous award show.
Yeah. I just take a look at some of these other films. Like we've all seen, I saw The Irishman, Todd Phillips' Joker, amazing. Sam Mendes, 1917, one of my probably favorite films of all time. I haven't seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I want to see Parasite, so I can't judge it hard. I just like these films were so good.
I feel like that's what happens a lot with Oscars, though. Like, you'll be thinking earlier in the film that things are going to happen, and they don't.
I think, though, with these Oscars, what they've done, though, is they've basically put Parasite on a level that, like, when I watch it, like, it has to deliver. And if it doesn't, like, I'm going to be kind of upset.
Then you should have watched it
and
first.
Rob, right
that just
after
shows
we
that you need
finished,
to watch
like,
them before the Oscars.
you saw how mad I was. We have the behind-the-scenes picture of my crumpled up Oscar ballot. Rob, you showed me the Rotten Tomato score.
Yeah, Rotten Tomato score was a 99% from Rotten Tomatoes. Audience score was a 92%.
Our friends the Geeks with Kids, they applauded that movie, and everyone I've talked to who has seen it like thinks it's amazing. So I've wanted to see it.
And to be fair, actually, this was probably one of the first times in a while that I have actually seen most of the movies.
Agreed.
On the director, on for a director. I mean, Irishman, like I said, that was way too long. But Joker was phenomenal. I personally picked 1917.
Agreed.
I really wanted him.
Brittany, what was your pick? Parasite?
Oh, yeah, it was Bong Joon-ho for Parasite.
Yeah. Let's move on to, we're getting into the actors and actresses here. Best Supporting Actress, Rob, went to
Laura Dern for Marriage Story.
Great movie.
Good old Jurassic Park mom.
She was really good
Admiral
in this.
Hodo.
She plays like a lawyer who...
She was fucking sharp.
Brutal, man.
Laura Dern her best. Holdo the phone.
Now you're just reaching.
You bet your ass she won.
Oh.
That's it. That's all I got. I can't remember the rest of her movies. It was
Get
a
off
marriage
my
story
bridge.
made in heaven.
Jesus Christ, Brittany. Moving on to Supporting Actor, and Brittany, that went to...
Brad Pitt for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Matt, you're the only one among us who saw that. Or did Rob?
No, I saw
you saw it too. What did you guys agree with this?
Yeah. I think comparing the only one, and I haven't seen it, that I might say could possibly be on the level is Tom Hanks as Fred Rogers in A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. So
yeah, Matt, did you see it in theaters?
no, I own it.
Okay.
Heather and I watched
So
it.
I saw it in the theaters, and I think I had just a little bit to it, but it was enjoyable to watch Brad Pitt in that role compared to freaking Al Pacino and Joe Pesci. It was just they were okay in those roles. I didn't see the Two Popes, and I really wanted to see Tom Hanks, but I didn't see it yet. So.
The one thing I will say and give the Irishman credit for is that Joe Pesci was really good in it. I thought Joe Pesci was like the reason if you're going to watch this film to watch it, and I actually picked him if this movie was going to win anything to win that. It didn't. So I have to sit down and finally watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And then heading into lead actress, Brittany, who do we have here?
It was Renee Zellweger for Judy.
Didn't have that picked. I put ScarJo.
I didn't even know Judy existed, so that was my bad.
That's
I literally,
really funny.
when they started playing the clips, I was just like, oh, I didn't even know about this movie.
Yep, I put Scarlett Johansson for Marriage Story. Along with her was Cynthia Erivo for Harriet, and I crumpled this up so I can't
Saoirse
read.
Ronan.
Thank you.
Saoirse Ronan.
And then Charlize Theron for Bombshell, who was absolutely fantastic in that.
I changed my thing twice before the Oscars even started to Renee Zellweger because I was like, I have a feeling, because I even said like Hollywood has this love affair with themselves, and
Oh yeah,
and like
Yeah.
Judy Garland is like the pinnacle, one of the pinnacle actresses of like the golden era of Hollywood cinema.
Before we get to these final two, how many times did you say that to me that like the Oscars are predictable, that they very much like to lather in their own, Rolexes?
No, they do.
Yes, I'm trying to say. Yes,
and
They
they
swim
do.
in their own Scorseses,
they absolutely do.
which
Thank
Julian
you.
thinks is a cesspool, but that's fine.
It is. But heading up to lead actor, this is one that we were all hoping, and I think to be fair, it was a lock.
It was
Yeah.
never. Gonna
I
be
never
anybody
even
else.
considered anyone.
No, I didn't either.
else.
That was Joaquin Phoenix for Joker. Well earned, and then a very riveting, maybe a little bit too long.
A little too preachy at times, I feel. But
acceptance speech, but I thought it was very moving. I thought it was powerful. I think that it was well-deserved Oscar.
I mean, he's won so much, he had to keep changing the speech up every time, so he was probably like, oh, shit, what else do I care about?
I gotta say, everybody on this list was pretty damn good. The only ones I saw were, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Marriage Story, and Joker. And as much as I hate Adam Driver,
You and Brittany.
I'm not.
I don't hate
I
Adam
know,
Driver.
I'm
I
not
hate
a fan,
Kylo Ren.
but he was good in this movie because in the beginning it was just like, okay, yeah, it's like it's this typical father and whatnot, and then he just becomes just like a complete dick. And it was a lot to unpack in that, but you know.
I like that film, but it was going to Joaquin.
Yeah,
all
like
day.
honestly, Joaquin was like the one lock that like before this all started, I would have said like he's a lock.
If
There
he
is
wouldn't have
nobody
won, that
else.
would have been extremely shocking.
Yeah, that would have.
I think I said it. You know, I was there multiple times already with every time they cut to Scorsese, but had he not won it, I might have turned it off. Like,
Did they even show Joaquin at any other time?
I think they did once.
I did not
I
see
think they
him
did
once. I
once.
may have not been looking at the screen.
They
but
did once. I think I remember seeing him once.
It was live.
He
Martin.
probably requested, just please no.
yeah.
Look at Billie Eilish, please. Someone
it
else.
was a lot of the front row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously. You know,
Yeah.
and
No Jack Nicholson this year. Man's getting up there in age. He's usually got his.
I think he's
front
also
row
doing
seat.
some health things. So, like why he wasn't in Doctor Sleep. No, I'm just saying this is like any chance I get, guys.
We actually
invading your
disappointed
dreams.
ourselves by not talking about it more, but that's another story.
They already know. They'll listen
Not
to our review.
up for Best Picture, Doctor Sleep, but a movie that at least I was never expecting to win. And Matt, take it away.
It is Parasite. Honestly, like I probably shouldn't have been the surprise of the night after winning. You know,
By the end, I was not surprised at all. I called it. I was
I
like,
mean,
it's happening.
like as I said, I'm not going to talk shit on the movie. I haven't seen it, but as I said, if when I watch it, like this movie hopefully will blow me away. Because if it doesn't, I will get upset. Like if I'm just like it was good but not great. Like that's kind of where I'm at with
I
it.
also feel like it's just hard after the Oscars to watch movies that you know won certain things, because then you have this inherent bias already, and then it's going to hinder your experience of it. So, like, I wouldn't like go into the film at all being like, I need to be blown away for this to work. Like, I'm just going to be like, I'm going to watch this film, see if I enjoy it or not, and then that'll let you know.
did we all pick 1917?
I did.
Yeah,
I did as well.
I just decided not to do any switches.
Brittany, had you decided to use your switches, would you have switched?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just because, like, I started to feel it, like, and I put Parasite down for a lot. And as you guys can see, I didn't do any switches throughout the night. So even going into this, I was like, honestly, Parasite. And then the only thing was Best Picture was pretty hard for me, but I felt like it was going to be 1917 just because, like, Hollywood goes for films like that.
Yeah, they do. They
And
do.
then it was just pleasantly surprising when Parasite won.
I mean, you guys know, like, all saw me. I was very not arguably. I was very upset at initially. I do want to give Parasite a chance. I want to watch it. 99% says volumes about how amazing this film was. We'll see.
I love Asian cinema, so
yeah,
we're doing
that
it.
too. So yeah, we will watch it. We will talk about it on the show when we're back from our season break. Let's talk about some fun moments of the Oscars and our
so fun
favorite
moments.
moment of the Oscars.
I still
Who
love
wants
my
it?
body.
Who wants it? Who wants it? Someone.
All right, I wrote it like on the back of my ballot. I wrote down like some talking points I wanted to get into, and Rob already kind of laughed because he saw what I wrote. But I wrote "fucking cats"
Yeah.
on the back of it.
That's literally the only emotion.
when Rebel Wilson and James Corbin like walked out on stage in full Cats getup, and they started basically poking fun at the movie, which obviously completely bombed and is already becoming like a cultural icon, like Rocky Horror or something, as like a movie you have to see in a theater just so you can tear it apart.
It was awesome. Like that was fantastic, and the fact that they just kept on like bopping at the microphone, it was like, I was like, oh, okay, you got me.
Yep.
Cats will always be synonymous with this show. Just saying.
All of us immediately, like, and I think I even said, I was like, get these fucking cats off
You
the stage.
did. You did.
But their outfits were better than in the movie because they actually look like the stage outfits.
Didn't they make a very serious knock at the visual effects?
They
No,
did.
they said
They're
like, we know very much how important visual effects are.
Finished visual
Yeah,
effects were. That was an awesome moment, guys. I want to
I
talk.
like how they batted it.
Yeah, I just meow 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 meow.
I hated it. That they did like what, a year or year and a half of cat school.
Did they really?
They did. They forced all the actors to do like a year-long
Wow.
cat school.
I really hope that they were like Scrooge McDuck in the dollars
I
like
am-
from this movie.
I'm so thankful they didn't do a song though. Oh my god, I was ready for fucking
Are you
Macavity.
kidding? Like I wanted
Like
it.
Taylor
My
Swift
body
up
was
here.
ready. My body was ready. Rob's. I know.
Do you
I
see
just
my name?
remembered Eminem. Oh my
Rob's
god,
body was ready. Oh, Eminem was awesome.
I just remembered Eminem.
Yes.
Scorsese wasn't a fan.
Oh my god.
Scorsese was sleeping during Eminem, and it was just like, "There's my man." Okay, boomer.
Let's all go around the table and talk about our favorite moments aside
Yep.
from cats now, because everybody knows. Listen to our cats review.
Yeah, take it away.
Shameless plug.
What was your favorite moment, Brittany?
Oh shit, there's so many.
Cats.
I'll pick a moment that I liked a lot. I have so many. So I liked Brie Gal and Sigourney all up there together, and how they're all like very, iconic female superheroes, and they're just like, yeah, we awesome. Yeah, we're all friends. We're going to start a fight club. Like, it was just goofy, and like, I don't know if they just made it up on the spot or not, but it was just fun. So I like seeing them up there because I was like, oh, I love all these women. This is amazing.
Honestly, I enjoyed the Eminem performance of "Lose Yourself." Wasn't expecting it.
Nobody was expecting it, which is why it was great.
Announced. It wasn't
Billie Eilish's face said
and
it all.
it was just. I enjoyed it. It was nice.
So I'm going to put it as one of my negative moments, but Kristen Wiig and Maya Rudolph's like monologuing was one of the most painful things that went on way too long.
Yeah, it was a little long.
I wanted to just be like, please stop and just get to the awards.
You know what drives me
Stop
crazy
it.
about that? I love them. I think they're fucking hilarious.
No,
Yeah.
they are funny women, and I legit think they're funny.
It wasn't as funny as they could be.
It was not good.
I don't know if it was the writing or if they were just like,
Or if they needed them to stall for time. Like,
Yeah.
who knows? Because at the end, they were like, wrap it up,
Wait,
wrap it up.
Brittany, the Oscars stall for time?
Yeah.
we have another Cadillac commercial to get
Oh
to.
my God.
God, fucking damn it.
I actually really liked the very beginning with Chris Rock and Steve Martin. I thought that they were funny.
I thought it was good.
I thought it was good.
I liked all the Oscars so white comments.
Yeah,
they
those
made
were
it- they
great.
made it a
But at the
lot
same
of fun.
time, I also just want more representation as opposed to just making jokes about how there's a lack of it. So, like, I
Yeah.
get that we have to, but at the same time, it's like, can we fucking not?
Yeah. We're running out of time. We'll go around one more time for favorite moments, and then I want to end with snubs and yeah. So go ahead.
I really enjoyed Janelle Monáe. She's one of my favorite artists, and I loved her whole opening and beginning and how she like showed various movies that weren't even necessarily up for Oscars. So in a way, she was showing just like a bunch of different like key films from the year and some that may or may not have been snubbed, but like were visually awesome.
I wasn't expecting that opening, and it was really
Yeah, like
cool.
Midsummer got a nod, Us got a nod, like all these other films that we mentioned while they were announcing, the Oscar nominees, and we're like, what about these other films we heard about? So I like that, and she's awesome.
I'm a little split. Honestly, I enjoyed the Indiana Menzel Into the Unknown with all the different
Oh, yeah, that was
Elsas from around the world. That was very nice. But I also really enjoyed the original score being performed for the first time
By
a
the
woman.
female conductor?
Yes.
Yeah,
That was
By a
really
female
cool.
conductor. I don't remember her name. Apologies, but
I don't either.
I thought it was very nice. It was very moving, and it was very well done.
I agree.
Yep.
Yeah, Rob literally stole like both moments that I could have mentioned. So I
What
was
about
gonna.
Keanu and his mom?
Like stealing that steel book away from you.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
But
by the way,
I did like the Idina Menzel, like the voiceover actors all kind of joining her to sing this Into the Unknown. It was a cool moment, and it was kind of nice to actually see like people other than the main like face that we all know. So
Last but not least, I was not expecting Billie Eilish to do what she did.
Yesterday. That's my favorite Beatles song.
She did a great job with the song. She's got a beautiful voice, and I was not expecting it to be that good, and it was.
I was hoping she was gonna sing like the James Bond song.
Me too.
I was so excited, and it didn't happen. But at the same time, if that would have happened, they probably would have given us Cats because the duality of man. So I'll take it. I'll take it.
oh my god,
you know what's funny? Actually, it's I'm going into snubs and whatnot, which Billie Eilish did sing yesterday from the Beatles. The movie
Oh, yesterday.
wasn't nominated at all, and I haven't seen it yet. And I heard it was pretty decent, but like
That's like the unfortunate thing with the Oscars, too. Some
weird.
movies you really
Yeah.
love, like Doctor Sleep.
Shameless plug.
God, I'm doing to take a shot every time.
I'm a Dr. Sleep stan.
Here we go again.
I'm also apparently now a Parasite stan. I don't know when that happened, but it happened. I'm one of them.
But you're a Cats fan too.
Snubs. Do it quickly. Brittany. Snub.
Dr. Sleep.
Rob.
I'll give something to Dr. Sleep.
I would also say Dr. Sleep.
I don't need to say it because y'all already said it, and I'm going to say Taron Egerton for Rocket Man.
I thought you were going to say Dr. Sleep also.
I didn't see Rocketman. I've been wanting to see Rocketman, but I mean, at least listen. I liked Dr. Sleep not as much as you guys.
Because you didn't see it in the theater.
You're right, absolutely. But I would say Dr. Sleep would be
Get off my bridge.
I deserve it. But Dr. Sleep would have been good. I wouldn't say for Best Picture or Lead Actor or anything like that, but somewhere in the
Get off my bridge.
We just don't agree, but you can go on. Come join us, Rob. Play with us forever and ever.
You want to keep going or you want to give up?
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Let's go. I would say something with like cinematography.
I've seen Dr. Sleep like 3 times this week.
I
Not gonna
enjoyed
lie.
cinematography. I also enjoyed the original score, bringing back in the Shining score and also creating something new with it. So I would see something in there. Hell, stretching it. I would even say something for supporting actor.
For the young girl, Kylie
right.
Curran, or for Rose the Hat?
For
Rebecca
anybody.
Ferguson.
Okay.
Rebecca Ferguson.
I was going to say
Rebecca
the
Ferguson.
top 3 characters in that movie all deserved Oscars. My opinion.
We could go
Yeah, all day. You can listen to
on
our
and
review.
on
I'm
and
sorry.
on all day about Dr. Sleep and about these Oscars. Matt, was it as painful as you thought it was going to be?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good answer.
yeah, it was.
Well, I mean, like once again, like we watched some of the pre-show where they're talking about outfits, and I'm going to point this out: the amount of time that Julia Louis how you say her?
Louis-Dreyfus?
Louis-Dreyfus basically spent like showing off her dress. It was like 5 minutes and I said, like, if I had been standing behind her waiting to go on, I would have just walked by and like, whatever, and just like kept going, because like, I understand it's a fashion event as well as like, movie thing, but like the Hollywood does love kind of sucking its own dick, to use a kind of crude term.
I was going to say it and I was waiting for someone else. So there it is. Yep. I agree.
And I mean, and as
The
I
show's
said,
also way too long.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is. They could cut so much from it.
Like it ended at what? It was like 3.5 hours.
It was, yeah,
About?
it got
And
there.
what time did the red carpet start?
6.
I will also
Start the Oscars at 6 and kill the red carpet.
I know Brittany said this, but during the in memoriam, like they were just boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom, going through it. So it's like you couldn't be like, oh my god,
And people
yeah.
couldn't even feel emotion or clap.
Yeah, no,
That segment is usually much longer.
Yeah.
yeah, and
I mean, it's
because
slower.
I think they were trying. I think like I legit believe what happened is that
good
Billie
year.
Eilish was singing yesterday, and they had a button that they were hitting because they're like, all right, we got to get through this before she's done the song.
Yeah.
And so like that's why they were like click, 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 click.
Because
click.
usually it's like an instrumental song. They don't
Yeah,
have
and
somebody
it's
sing
and
live.
you could time it, you can have it all planned out and everything. You can have the grand operatic thing of like, oh, we lost Rip Torn, we lost Kirk Douglas, and everybody.
Chewbacca.
Oh,
There
that's
also
amazing.
wasn't like
Peter
an
Mayhew,
even
yeah.
amount of time between people.
Yeah,
Which bothered me. Like Kobe Bryant had like 6 seconds, and then like other people are like, boom, boom, boom. The next 4 people they had to breeze
hairstyles,
through.
hairstyles,
So I was just
whatever.
like,
Click.
these people are important. Stop.
Yeah.
Well, you obviously know how we feel about the Oscars. We want to know how you feel about the Oscars. Are we right? Are we wrong? Is the Academy wrong? Yes, they are. But that's a whole nother
They're always
point.
wrong, but
They're
that's
always
because they're
wrong.
80-year-old white men.
Let us know what you think about the Academy Awards this year. You can email us at permittedpod@gmail.com. That is the end of season 2. Rob, I want to thank you for joining us once again. We will be back on March 17th for season 3. For Matt, for Brittany, I'm Julian. Have a good night.
You can find Everything is Permitted on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and YouTube. Everything is Permitted is produced by Rob Migliaccio, Nikki Veazey, and Geneva Stein-Shivers. Our executive producers are Michael Cox, Brittany Tomes and the Tomes family, and Julian Brown.